Time to shine today, varsity squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and I have my homeboy. And if you're watching on video, he's from Detroit. We got Detroit versus everybody. Everyone knows that the Mitten is my home. It's like a little brother. I can talk shit about him, but nobody else can. So, but my boy Jon here, we go way back, probably almost 10 years to the early 2000s, and he ripped through the commercial real estate side of things. He was and still is somebody that they go to for consulting, but he crushed it. I believe he was at a company called Marcus and Millichap at that time, and he was absolutely on fire. And even during the '08 crisis, Jon found a way, I guess it was called back then shifting, now they're called it pivoting, but he found a way to shift and still level up in the industry. And I was in the residential side, and I literally got sunk, and everybody knows that story because I didn't shift the way that Jon did. He thrived during the time, and that is why he has one of the top coaching consulting businesses that's out there. I mean, Jon is a friend. He's somebody that I really look up to, and I've been stoked and patient and waiting for him to be able to have the time to come on and share with us his company, the Jon Dwoskin experience. I'm just going to call him JD because I have him the whole time.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Jon's is a business coach, executive advisor. He's an author of a fantastic book that I'm going to have a giveaway at the end. It's a Think Big movement. Grow your business big, very big. His motto is Think Big. And he will show you how to get unstuck and accelerate your growth. And Jon, JD, please come on
Scott,
and introduce yourself to the squad. But first, Johnny, what is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is blue. I don't know. It's always been blue. I just find it a relaxing color, and I feel like it keeps me grounded.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, Jon, JD, I know you a little bit. So when we get into the origins of JD and what you kind of went through I told a little bit about your story, but then get it up to, the Jon Dwoskin experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give a quick gist. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's great to see you. It's always great connecting with you. I've always loved everything that you've done. You were the first person I called many years ago, because you were one of the very first people on Periscope, and I really wasn't sure how to use it, and I called you, and I actually was cleaning out during COVID. My wife and I were cleaning out our basement, and I found this box with everything that you told me to buy for Periscope. But by the time I got it, Periscope was like almost over.
I still have it, man. I still have it.
Yeah. So you've always been, forward thinking in my book. But so I just in quick summary, Scott, I'm 48 years old. I started my business coaching company a little over 5 years ago. And prior to that, out of college, I started an internet company that I was responsible for, all the sales and growing the sales team and basically business planning for everybody in the business. And we sold that company 2 years later to, at the time, the largest internet professional service firm in the world. I was a partner in that company for a couple of years until my contract was up. And then I moved from there to commercial real estate, selling apartments throughout Michigan. And then after 6 years of that, I was just kind of restless. I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. And I wanted to start my own business, but I got offered the opportunity to actually take over the Detroit office. And I did that. So I took over August 4th of '08, and the market crashed in September. And then over the course of 6 years, the office was just flattened at the recession. It was just a horrific time, but also a great time to grow and to learn and to lead and to grow my skill set and to lead my office. At Marcus, I was a national and regional trainer. I grew my office after the recession to 45 agents, about 60-some people overall. It was one of the most profitable offices in the company. And I loved my time there, but I wanted to start my own business. And so being a business coach, which I wanted to do since I was 18, my dad gave me a set of tape sets by Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Success. And I thought, this is exactly what I want to do. And so I really just was hungry to start my own business. As I was leaving Marcus, I got offered an opportunity to go in and help restructure a company for a year. I did that, and then I started my own business. And I love it. I coach people, Scott, all over the country, C-level executives, leadership, people in leadership suite, managers, and salespeople. So I do one-on-one coaching. I do group trainings, keynotes, and I write books. And I podcast a lot.
Yeah, he has dwarfs me in the number of podcasts. He's way to that game, way before I was. So, Jon, what did your family think about you kind of popping out of the commercial real, the commercial real estate where I know you're being humble, but you did well. Okay. So like popping out of that, there was some security. I'm saying that in air quotes if you're only listening. But
Yeah.
what did your family really think about that? I know your father was supportive because he gave you the tapes when you were young and stuff.
Yeah.
What was their thoughts?
I mean, there was no question. I mean, I've always reinvented myself as in business. I mean, I went from college to internet to create an internet company to going into commercial real estate. But my passion and my dream was always to create a business coaching company, right? Starting a company that coached other companies. So it wasn't a question of, what, when, what. I mean, it was just a question of when are you going to do it? And so it was time. I was about to turn 42 and it was just time to start. No, 43, excuse me. It was just time to start. So everybody was incredibly supportive, 100% supportive on board. And I just felt like it was in complete alignment with me and what I wanted to do. I love helping people. I love helping people get unstuck. I feel like I can see and hear things that people are missing that can just give them that little extra something to get back into alignment to accelerate their growth, and they see great results.
Love it. So if I'm out at a networking event and I see one of your favorite books on here is Bob Burg's The Go-Giver, who's,
I
Bob
love
always
Bob.
listens, and Bob's a neighbor of mine. And
Oh, he is?
yeah, he lives right down the street.
Oh,
So
I've had him on the show a couple of times. I love Bob.
yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
So like if I'm out at a networking event, pressing some flesh, which we're able to do that a little bit here in South Florida, again, coming out of the COVID, but like, what am I listening for? What am I hearing they're saying to make them a great prospect, connection, or referral for Jon Dwoskin?
My clients are successful people. It's very simple. My clients are successful people who are stuck and can't get to the next level.
Love it.
And my clients have an awareness where they know they want to grow and they're ready to do the work. So I talk about thinking big, and thinking big to me is reverse engineering the big to all the small little things you need to do every day that compound over time. That's the only way to get something to be big, right? Small changes, small growth, and understanding compound interest, compound effects. One of my favorite books is Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything compounds negatively or positively. So, if you're looking, my clients are people who are looking for coaches, advisors, mentors to just explode and stay consistent.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, that's the one thing is people will hit those plateaus and then valley out, kind of like yo-yo.
Correct.
Stay consistent. That's fantastic. So
yeah,
when you're in the discovery process and kind of bringing either an individual or a company into your coaching fray, if you will, what is your secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, that you help them find their blind spot?
Sure. I'm a great listener. I hear things that people miss. I see things that people miss. I understand what drives people. I understand how to reverse engineer all the nitty gritty and provide not only the vision of what they are trying to articulate or crystallize it, but then reverse engineer and provide them tools and roadmaps that basically get them accelerating their growth. And so I'm an idea person. So I can hear what somebody's trying to do or where they're stuck, basically articulate it into an idea, articulate it and provide them tools so they can actually get started and move forward.
Love it. Love it. So when you're bringing people in that first conversation and you're listening with your ears and your eyes and all the senses, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
The question that I want everybody to ask is, how can I get back to center faster? How can I get back into alignment? Because that's the key, right? So when you're in alignment, you can take action. When you're in an adjustment period and out of alignment, you can't really move and accelerate to the extent that, sometimes we see people are like, God, why is that person like, so successful, or why does everything seem so easy for that person? Well, typically that person is in their unique ability, in their passion, in their sweet spot, and in alignment. And so when you're out of alignment and you're in an adjustment period and you're trying to figure things out, you can't take action as quickly. And so the key is, especially, and we're seeing this through COVID, people are unsettled. People don't know what to think. There's so many different news elements, and that's fine. All of us are a little bit frazzled in some way, but how quickly we get back into alignment and how quickly we get back to center, so we can ground ourselves and start taking action on what we need to take, whether that's from a business perspective or personal. It takes extra effort these days, but that's something we all gotta master that. Secondly, I would like people to ask me, how do I master and become a student of my calendar? Because we all have 24 hours in a day.
Sure.
I do a ton of coaching on time management, and it is critical that as people who now have way more on our plates because our kids are home and this, that, and the other, COVID, we're working remotely. We have to become master students of our calendar. We must.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence of that big cliche, but it's true. It's just some people just get owned by the day instead of owning their day. So let's get in our DeLorean with Marty McFly. You're old enough.
Okay.
That is.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the 22-year-old JD.
I went to nursery school with DeLorean's kid, I think. Miss Rose's. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So what kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on the 22-year-old JD with the wisdom and experience that you have now?
Yeah.
Help shorten his learning curve a little bit.
Yeah. So a couple things. You never have to be, you never need to raise your voice, right? You can be firm, but you never need to raise your voice. There's no reason to ever be an asshole. Because there's no make sure that you respond and don't react, I would say, would be my biggest advice. And, you're in your 20s, you react quickly. That's what children do. They react. Adults respond. And so
I've never did that.
Right. Right. I mean, I've got myself, I still I'm 48. I can still think of things I did in my 20s where I reacted and I said something that was, sarcastic and I thought was funny at the time, but was really hurtful. And those things stick with you and they don't go away.
Yeah.
And so really be conscious and,
mindful, right?
and respond. Don't put yourself in a place where you react.
I understand that. I've been there, and I've left I kind of liken it, squad, which you hear me talk about this, is like taking a nail and hammer it into a wall. And sure, you can pull the nail out, but the hole's still there. And so you can leave hurt on people, that you don't know. And especially if you're a younger listener here at Time to Shine today, Jon just said, learn and practice to respond, don't react, and be firm, and just don't raise your voice. So, Jon, you're a big believer in coaching. Are you being coached?
Of course. I have 2 coaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I've always had coaches. Always. My, I had one coach for 13 plus years. I don't know if you knew Jules Rappaport.
Know the name, right?
Writer. I mean, he was a coach of mine forever. But I've always had coaches. I'm a big believer we all need a minimum of 3 mentors. I'm a big believer that, as a business coach, I also don't want to be complacent or ever get complacent. I always want to be evolving. I always want to be raising my frequency, raising my vibration so I can help more people. And so, though coaching is a big part of having a coach is a big piece of my business plan.
Love it. And as we talk, squad, about, Jon is talking about coaching, have coaches. Myself, I have 2 coaches as well. And I also have a solid mentor that's been with me over 20 years. He always tells me to mentor as well, because the more you mentor, the more immortal you become, the more people pay forward everything that you have. So, Jon, we talk a lot about the dash here at Time to Shine today, and I want to know how you want your dash remembered, that little line in between your life date and your expiration date. How do you want your legacy statement, epitaph? How do you want your dash remembered, bro?
I just want to be known as a kind person. I mean, I'm disciplined. I work out. I mean, I work hard. I do what I say I'm going to do. I always follow through. I really believe that when you leave your ego at the door and you can just be a kind person while you're also driven and work hard and, I don't know if I'm a type A, but I'm sure a B plus, you know, A in some things, B plus in others. Um, but I just, yeah, I mean, I just want people to say that I was a kind human being.
Love it. I love it. And they'll definitely remember you about that, Jon. I know I do. I know that you have an ultimate go-giver heart, and that's just something. That's why I wanted to kind of reach out to you and have talked to the
Yeah.
squad. Hey, Jon, what are 3 nouns that you can't live without? Person, places, or things you can't live without?
You know, I would say, you know, the persons are, you know, my wife, Joanna, my kids, Jacob and Aria.
Mm-hmm.
My place is my home. I'm kind of a homebody.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I mean, I'd like to kind of be home. And things I can't live without, you know, I'm not saying I don't like nice things. I do 100%. I do. But, I guess the one thing would be, I guess my computer,
Yeah,
because I can work anywhere, you know, anywhere and talk to anybody on my computer.
Love it.
But outside of that, I mean, I love nice things, but at the end of the day, the people and the place is what keeps me,
Everything.
you know, solid.
Everything. Yeah. Love that answer. So what would be your definition of a life well lived?
A life well lived is, I think, a life where you are in alignment with your passion. You are living your passion. I feel like I am in alignment with my purpose. And I think if you can live your purpose and you can live it with a kind heart and you can do something to help the world while also making money, right? I don't think making money is a bad thing. I'm a very conscious capitalist where I can, you know, that was hard for me initially. Like, how do you merge, you know, having a kind heart with, you know, just capitalism and wanting to make a lot of money, right? Yeah. So, but I figured that out, and I think it's, and I think that you can have both. You know, you can live a kind life. You can be heart centered and have a very strategic mind, and you can still make a lot of money, because the more money you make, the more people you can help.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, to me, that's important.
No, I love that. You know, a lot of people kind of fashion money with being selfish, you know, if you're wanting to make a lot of money. And for some people that can be true, but I kind of look at money like the when we're on an aircraft and we're about ready to take off, and that steward's like, hey, put that mask on before you help somebody else put the mask on. The more money that you have the mask on, you can help more people. That's just the bottom line. That's how I feel. Right. You'll never change my mind about that. So, Jon, as we wind things down here a little bit, we're going to go into our leveling up lightning round. And you and I could talk for 15, 20 minutes on each one of these, but you got 5 seconds. My producer's over there on the screen. 5. So, literally, you can answer these in a blink. So,
okay,
ready to rock?
Let's do it.
All right. What's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Believe in yourself.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Meditation.
There you go. Love that.
Every day.
Gotcha. And outside of your website and also timetoshinetoday.com, that's my shameless plug. But outside of those two, what is the website you go to level up?
You know, I that's a hard one because Harvard Business Review.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, not the flavor of the month, not the book you're reading right now. You have a plethora of books. You got to go read, folks. You got to read Jon's. I'm digressing from my own lightning round here, but you got to read Jon's favorite books, because him and I have the exact same books on our bookshelves. But if you pick one, I'm in the doldrums, bro. I'm like, shit, Jon. You know, I need to be leveled up. What book? Yeah, hand to me.
So I'm 2. One is The 4 Agreements.
Okay.
Which is one of my all-time favorites. And Think and Grow Rich.
There you go. The Bible, that I like to say.
The Bible. I love it. Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
So, what is your most commonly used emoji when you're
a thumbs up?
Thumbs up. My man. Okay, Johnny, if not wisdom wise, but age wise, what age would you be physically for the rest of your life?
What age would I be physically for the rest of my life? 25.
I know. I always say between 25 and 30, man. Absolutely. What's your favorite charity and organization you like to give your time and money to?
So I'm really, I love a couple charities. I'm on the board of Hebrew Free Loan, which gives interest-free loans to people in need. And I'm also a big fan and do a lot of work with Immerman Angels, which is a one-on-one cancer support. I'm a cancer survivor. And so they pair you up with somebody who is actually going through the same level of something, whatever you went through. It's called Immerman Angels.
So,
They're an amazing, amazing organization.
so
Yeah.
someone that is, let's say they're going through testicular cancer. So someone that's remission that's conquered it will go back and kind of help mentor the person.
Like me, I had testicular cancer when I was 30.
Oh,
yeah.
I never freaking knew that. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. And I have mentored a lot of guys. Yeah. I mean, I was fortunate. I a little bit of radiation and was healthy and fine and able to have kids and all that. So, but I mentor kids through the Immerman Angels organization. Yeah.
That's fantastic, Jon.
Yeah.
And last question, it's kind of tougher, but what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s?
Oh my God. I would say, I'm an 80s kind of kid, but I wouldn't say that was the best. I'd go with the 70s.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd go with the 70s. Yeah.
I mean, 80s we had the big care, don't care.
80s,
the rap kind of came aboard.
Yeah,
The 70s is what I'm always like. iHeartRadio, 70 station.
70s is great. 70s is great.
Love it, Jon. How can we find you, brother?
Anybody can call me on my cell phone, 248-535-7796. I answer my own phone. I return every call, text, email, not only of anyone who calls me, but all clients, same day. It's kind of a non-negotiable policy of mine. And my website is jondwoskin.com. And all my information is there. I mean, my email, my phone number, my podcast, my blogs, my Forbes article. I mean, everything that I do sits there, and you can connect with me on all social as well.
Love it. And Jon, leave us with, and folks, all of that will be in the show notes. And Dwoskin is spelled Dwoskin. So,
thanks,
but Jon, leave us with one last knowledge nugget you want the squad to take with them, internalize, and take action on.
My parents always used to teach me that you can learn from anybody older and anybody younger. And that has always grounded me to be very open to learning from everybody. And so I think that's really important. I learned as much from my kids. I learned as much from, people like the young entrepreneurs that I interviewed 2 weeks ago. I interviewed 18 of them on my podcast, to people who are, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Wow. So I just love learning from everyone. And don't shut yourself off and leave your ego at the door.
Love that. And squad, you just had really a free masterclass from my homeboy, my guy JD here, Jon Dwowskin, who is the epitome of an idea person. He will help people and businesses get unstuck. He sees and hears what's missing. He doesn't only listen with his ears, he listens with his eyes, and he will help you reverse engineer, get back from the big picture into what we call here at Time to Shine today, inch by inch, it's a cinch, by the yard, it's hard. So he's going to take it and break it down and help you reverse engineer and get back in alignment. So if you're asking yourself, how can you get back into alignment faster? Jon is your guy. He's a master at time management. He's going to remind you to be firm, but never raise your voice. So stay committed, but there's no reason to raise your voice because you can hurt people in that. And he'll tell you to do that by responding and not reacting. He's going to be remembered as a kind person. He walks his, talks his walks, his talk, whatever, how that goes. In alignment with his passion and purpose. And most of all, learn from everyone. Anybody, no matter what their age, check your ego and learn. And Jon is so humble yet hungry. He levels up his health. He levels up his wealth. You're part of the Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad. Jon, thank you so much for stopping in, brother.
Scott, thank you, man. I always enjoy talking with you, and I love the energy that you bring to everything. Thanks, and it's hard to believe that we've known each other about 20 some years, but it's an honor and a privilege to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Johnny. We'll talk soon.